Jonas woke. Silence. Not just quiet, but an absence. He reached for his phone, screen dead, no hum from the charger. He went to the window. Streetlights, usually a dull orange glow, were gone. Houses, usually lit from within, were dark shapes against the coming dawn. He flicked the light switch. Nothing. A prickle ran down his spine. This was wrong. Neighbor one as Jonas. He went outside, the cool morning air strangely sharp without the usual city sounds. He wasn't alone. Mrs. Jensen, 2 houses down, stood on her porch, face etched with worry. Neighbor one as Mrs. Jensen. "What's happened?" she called, voice unsteady. Jonas shook his head. He didn't know. He walked further, each silent house adding to the unease. At the corner, a group huddled around a car, its radio silent. Faces reflected growing fear. The day was dawning, but a different kind of darkness had fallen. News travelled slowly, carried on the wind of worried whispers. No electricity, phones dead, radios silent. The internet, that invisible web connecting the world, had vanished. The initial shock gave way to a wave of panic. People crowded the streets, seeking information, finding only shared fear. Supermarkets, unable to operate, closed their doors, the usual bustle replaced by an unnerving quiet. Neighbor one as Jonas. Jonas watched from his porch as his neighbors argued, comforted, or simply sat in stunned silence. The world, usually a cacophony of noise and light, held its breath, waiting. He felt a strange sense of detachment, watching the fear ripple through the crowd like a tangible thing. The silence, unsettling at first, was now a constant presence, amplifying the uncertainty. Days blurred into nights. The initial chaos subsided, replaced by a weary acceptance. The blackout wasn't localized, it was global. The world was unplugged. Without electricity, cities became still lifes. Traffic lights blinked out, cars sat idle, their metal shells reflecting the unfamiliar darkness. The constant hum of technology, a soundtrack to modern life, was gone. People adapted, necessity breeding invention. Fires crackled in backyards, providing warmth and a focal point for communities. Conversations replaced television screens, stories shared under the vast, star-dusted sky. Jonas, used to the instant gratification of the digital world, found himself struggling. Without his phone, his laptop, his connection to the endless stream of information, he felt adrift, lost. Section 4. Finding stillness in the chaos. He spent his days scavenging for supplies, helping his neighbors, trying to find a rhythm in the new world. But it was the nights that were the hardest. The darkness was absolute, broken only by the flickering light of fires and the distant stars. The silence, once unnerving, now held a strange intensity. He could hear the wind rustling the leaves, the distant barking of dogs, the beating of his own heart. He began to notice things he hadn't before, the way the moonlight painted the trees with silver, the intricate patterns of the stars, unobscured by city lights, the quiet resilience of nature continuing on, indifferent to human struggles. He found himself drawn to the quiet moments, the stillness that lay beneath the surface of the chaos. In the absence of distractions, he was forced to confront his own thoughts, his own fears. And slowly, he began to adapt. Section 5. Rediscovering the Forgotten World. Weeks turned into months. The world, once defined by its technology, was rediscovering the rhythm of the natural world. Gardens flourished, fueled by necessity and a newfound appreciation for the land. People formed tight-knit communities, relying on each other for support and companionship. Skills that had been forgotten or deemed irrelevant in the digital age were now prized. Bartering replaced currency, human connection replacing online interaction. Jonas, once lost without his digital tether, found a new purpose in the simplicity of this new world. He learned to grow food, to build fires, to read the signs of the changing seasons. He rediscovered the satisfaction of working with his hands, of creating something tangible and real. He found joy in the simple things, a shared meal cooked over an open fire, the laughter of children playing games forgotten by time, the quiet companionship of his neighbours, their faces etched not with the blue light of screens, but with the warm glow of the fire. Section 6. A New Dawn. The blackout lasted a year of silence, of darkness, of fear, but also a year of rediscovery, of resilience, of hope. When the lights flickered back on, a collective gasp rippled across the globe. The world rushed to reconnect, to reclaim its digital life. But something had shifted. The experience had left an indelible mark, a reminder of the fragility of technology and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Jonas stood on his porch, watching the city slowly come back to life. The familiar sounds of traffic, of music, of life were both comforting and jarring. He looked up at the sky, still dusted with stars, a silent testament to the year the world stood still. He knew things wouldn't ever be the same. He had glimpsed a world without the constant hum of technology, a world where human connection was paramount, where the natural world held sway. And in that world, he had found a part of himself he didn't know existed.